Today's adventure brings me to Salt Lake City International Airport, where I am going to Houston, oh, I'm sorry, not Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth as a recording of this. It is Tuesday, September 27th, 2022. I have a layover, and then I am heading to Orlando International Airport, where a hurricane is approaching Florida. And the line doesn't look too bad at this hour. However, this is the screening area, but I am not a general. I think I can still probably get on this line. It's always interesting to me how each one of the screening processes at every airport is completely different. So this one I had to take my shoes off. They didn't say if I had to take my belt off, but I took it off anyway. I put it in the same bin as the laptop, and inside here they told me I didn't have to take the external keyboard out. So I took that out of the bin with my laptop, put it back in here. This had to go in a bin, that had to go in a bin, but I put this in a bin with my shoes, and then they said, whoa, 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 put it back through on its own. So at this particular airport, this has to go through on its own, in its own bin, and then all this other stuff in its own bin, and then this in its own bin. It's a little confusing, but you know, it's all part of the experience. Here's a reflective view out the side of this window. You can see the sun is starting to rise over the Salt Lake City mountains. Now, this is a very interesting piece of artwork. I thought maybe they were doing construction over here, but I think this actually is a piece of artwork through here with the like pieces of wood and whatnot. Heading over to all gates, you can see a very unique looking airport. I really like the design of this little corridor through here. And take a look at Pilot Bear here. Junior airline pilot. He's gonna get his wings soon. He's a bear in training right here. Wonder if he'll be flying my plane. Welcome everyone. Adam the Woo here. My flight departs at 8:40 out of Salt Lake City into Dallas Fort Worth, where I have a layover. I'll be going to Orlando International. I've stated this before, but I'm just kind of reiterating. And then the excitement of a storm that is approaching. Should be interesting. I'm inviting you to join me. Shall you? I am a little tired at the moment. I think once the first flight takes off, I'm going to get myself a piping hot caffeinated beverage. I am also flying first class. I've decided to go ahead and just pay the money for first class. I'm a little, I don't say I'm nervous, but I am a little bit on edge with, you know, not really going to Dallas up here. So right, have B13. No, not B13. Yeah, B13 at 8:04 or 8:40 a.m. Had to get up really, really early. Had to return the rental car and then head over to the gate itself and get through the checkpoints and all that. So British Airways, which is also a subsidiary of American. So I have a window seat on both flights, and I'll be sitting near the front of the plane. But I could definitely use a coffee. You know, didn't really get a whole lot of sleep last night, thinking, kind of looking at the news and just trying to figure out where the storm was and all that. But it looks like everything is good on time to Dallas. Now from Dallas to Orlando, that might be a whole different story. I'll wait and see. And if I was going to get a souvenir, I could get it right here at this gift shop. And I think I got a magnet last time I was in Salt Lake. If you look at this, got the real beehive of activity when it comes to stickers here, because this is the beehive state. I think I got a magnet last time. It's on my fridge at home. I'm kind of looking forward to get home. Got some hoodies over there. Destination Media. I think I'm starting to wake up as the morning progresses, but yeah, it's taking me a moment to kind of wake up just a little bit today. Also used to use these back in the day, these little like neck rests, but I don't know. I just never really use them. I'd bring them with me. I use them once or twice, and they just end up staying in my bag. This is a long walk to these gates. Salt Lake City Airport. You got to do a lot of walking to the gates. And I always like these moving walkways, so I end up walking on them, but it seems as if I'm walking twice as fast when I am on them. And you got some pretty cool murals through here as well. Here's an antelope or a deer on the side, and then you got over here, you got a little squirrel, got some birds and whatnot. And up ahead, oh, an even bigger squirrel next to that bear over there. This squirrel is like 8 times the size of that other squirrel I just showed. This artwork all going through here. Yeah, this is definitely quite the stroll to get over to the B gates. Been walking for probably at least 10 minutes. No exaggeration. It's good though. Get my steps in, because I'm gonna be sitting for a number of hours. I think it's like 2.5 hours on the first flight, and then like an hour and a half layover, then 2.5 more to Orlando, assuming that flight does not get postponed. Now I had thought about maybe taking a red eye last night, or maybe even fly out yesterday, or even fly. My original plan was to fly out tomorrow, but I decided today would be better because just my assumption, if this storm makes landfall, the airports tomorrow might be closed. Now this is not my plane, but this is over on the American Airlines side. You see the guy's kind of doing something with the wheel there, getting ready for takeoff. This is B12. I am looking for B13, which is my gate. And with one passing by off in the distance, so you got B11 over on this side, and adjacent to B11 is B13. You can see the control tower right over there as well. Check it out. I think that is going to be my plane. I have a window seat. I can't remember. So basically I booked near the front of the plane, window seats on both flights, including this one and the layover, and then into Orlando. But one on either side, so I'll have a peek out the left window and the right window, but I can't remember which I did first. But yeah, B13, this is going to be me. Looks very beautiful out there. This weather, probably much better than what it's going to be like when I arrive at MCO, Orlando International. Okay, I ended up getting this, going into this store called In Motion, and I ended up getting an OtterBox quick charge for $35. I realized I do not have an external charger for my phone, and because at some point I might lose power in Florida, I figured I might need this, so I'm going to kind of juice this up and have this just in case at my place in Celebration I lose power. And the reason I'm getting it now and not waiting till I land in Florida is because I just do not know if there's going to be, just in case, worst case scenario, there's no stores open, or if these are sold out in Orlando. So I figured I just saw it, impulse buy, go ahead and grab it and be done with it. Look at this, look at the haze over there, the sun rising. Also, this is my plane. This is B13. And this is pretty nice. There's a little charger down here next to the seat while I'm waiting for it to be time to board. So I'm able to charge up this little external charger right here on the USB. Check out the walkway to nothing. So this walkway just completely ends down there and then ends down here. It's a walkway to nowhere. Just ends into a wall. And then this whole thing's closed off. You have these stanchions here saying walkway closed. Wonder why. Maybe they did some construction down there. Things that make you wonder. Now, I'm not sure if this is a good sign or not, but the plane takes off at 8:40. It's 8:28 right now, a.m., and no one has started boarding yet. So it's going to be a quick board, or this plane might be delayed just a few minutes. Okay, they're making the announcement now. All right, I am in Group 1. I'm sitting in seat 5A.
If you've elected to bring on 2 carry-on items, we ask the smaller of the 2, like backpacks, briefcases, purses, laptop bags, and shopping bags. There's those sponsors go on, you can see in front of you. Larger bags can go in the overhead bin, wheels first, and continue to be flipped up on their side. This will allow us to accommodate many more bags. We do apologize for our late arrival this morning. It was due to crew rest last night, so your cooperation with getting seated as safely and as quickly as possible is greatly appreciated, as we know many of you do have connections to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you are seated in one of our exit rows, please free the safety card in the seat back pocket as you may.
Lift off. First thing I'm noticing, it's a lot quieter up here off of the wheels by the wing. Whenever I sit by the wing, it's like a lot louder. For obvious reasons. Takeoff time. Ooh. It's a nice little rattle. Nice little sunburst over there too. Salt Lake City. ago on the way to Moab going south out of Salt Lake. Ah, yes, the first view of clouds. Granted, I'm still in Utah.
Just in case we encounter any unexpected turbulence. We're planting taking over southern Colorado. We can right at Montrose, Colorado.
Say clouds are very fascinating and very beautiful. I don't know, random thought of the day. Just incredible that technology exists to fly directly above them. And check out all the canyons directly below me. I don't think it's the Grand Canyon, but it's canyons nonetheless. My coffee has arrived. It's kind of interesting. It's not in a styrofoam cup. I guess it's fancy because this is first class, so you get it in a little ceramic cup. This thing is tiny. It's like it's probably about the same size as the coffee that you get in the bag, but it just looks different because it's in here. And they put the cream and sugar in there for you. 1 cream, 1 sugar. I hope I can drink all this. I'm sure I could probably get a refill too if I ask. It'll get me to the next spot. It's just, I was expecting like a bigger cup. Got some crop circles down there. That answered my question. They do come by and top it off, so got a refill. All right, here's an entire grid of what looks like crop circles. I don't think there's any crops down there though, they're just circles. It's interesting, these down here have no color to them, but these are all green. It's like a whole cluster of them. It's like from the movie Signs with Mel Gibson. You know what? I don't really know if those are crops though. I don't think, how can they be crops in the desert? Also brought my pack of gum here. They also serve a continental breakfast, which I opted out of, but I went with the Dr. Pepper. So a little caffeine from coffee, and then a Dr. Pepper, not in a can, but in a glass. And a refill on this as well. Now in all reality, the best thing about having these seats is legroom. We have plenty of legroom here. It's not really about like the service or the food or the drinks or anything like that. I mean, even though I just drink soda, I don't drink alcohol, but it's mostly just having room. And then over here, all this elbow room. Although I'm kind of surprised there's no TV. Sometimes there'll be a TV here. There's no screen. You can put your phone there if you want. Being 6'3" and not thin, it's kind of nice to have a little more room than sitting closer to the back.
We're going to be on the ground at the gate at about 12:25 local, so just about 8 to 9 minutes late. That's what we're looking at your profile time.
All right, about to land now. Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. This is the greater Dallas-Fort Worth area. About halfway through my trek. It's a little hazy, but there's downtown skyline over there. All right, about time to touch down.
checked baggage can be claimed at A15. If you're connecting to a flight that departs from a different terminal, DFW Skylink trains operate from all terminals every 2 minutes inside the secured area of the airport.
So we're not sending either of us one thing.
Like Bon Jovi says, I'm halfway there. All right, I am pretty happy that I flew out today and not tomorrow. I've just heard some news after getting off the plane and turning my phone back on that all the flights at MCO, I believe the whole entire airport is going to be shutting down late tonight, tomorrow. I'm now heading over to gate C15, C15. Should be about that direction. Holy cow, talk about cutting it close. Boards in 5 minutes, now arrives at 4:49. Not much of a delay though. 1:13 p.m. is when it's departing. And that is my plane right over there at gate C15. Of course, they board like 40 minutes before the plane take off. The last one didn't board until about 15 minutes before the plane took off, and because it was a little late, had to kind of rush over here, but still got plenty of time. You know, even if for some reason I didn't make it over here right when boarding started, as long as I get here before the gate closes. I've only missed one flight, and that was at LAX years ago, and that was very stressful. I had to go all the way back home, go back the next day, be on standby. So glad I'm not going to miss this flight, and I'm also glad it has not been postponed. Oh look, he's like cleaning the window over there. Look at that. Let me zoom in on this a little behind the scenes here. A very extended window washing mechanism there. And even though I won't be here very long, I'm going to show some of the merchandise. So just to prove that I am in Texas for, what, 10 minutes? And I always like this big neon eagle, this American eagle that's here. I've never seen it turned on. I've been through layovers here before, but I've never seen this thing ignited before. Once again, group 1, I think I have the front seat. Seat 1F, which is still a window seat. Just getting on. Ooh, I got a little static electricity there when I just touched the side of that.
On board the aircraft, as well as expedite our boarding process. So when you come in, please, we ask that you put your bag in wheels first and turn it on its side. For those of you that have brought on 2 carry-on items, we ask that you place the smaller item underneath the seat in front of you. This will also accommodate more passenger bags.
You're on time departure. Go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign on. Just make sure your seatbelts are securely fastened. And then we're airborne. I'm sure your safety. I'll turn the seatbelt sign off. That's your indication it's safe to move by the cabin. Everyone in your seats, we do request you keep your seatbelt fastened right. Once we get airborne, 2 hours, 8 minutes en route.
Doors including USB ports and AC outlets. We're coming through the aisle now for our final safety checks. We appreciate you for tuning in.
Oh yeah. Love it. Seatbelt sign was off for just a little bit, but now the seatbelt sign is back on because the turbulence is starting to happen a little bit. Only about an hour into the flight, probably another hour and 15 to go. But seatbelt sign's on. I got another Dr. Pepper, some peanuts, and I got a turkey sandwich coming for a late lunch. All right, this looks pretty dang good. I didn't expect it to be like a whole smorgasbord of items. Said, do I want a turkey sandwich? I said yes, and now there's like a little potato salad over here, a little brownie, a little wet nap thing, some nice cutlery. After eating that brownie, got myself a coffee. seeing the shoreline down there, but I can't tell if that's a Texas city or if that's New Orleans. It's starting to get a little bumpy.
To the descent into Orlando. Seatbelt signs on. If you're up about the captain, please turn your seats and nest with seatbelts for the duration of the flight. Current weather is light winds, scattered clouds, 82 degrees. We appreciate you flying with us today. We'll have you on the ground about 30 minutes, maybe 25 minutes from now, touching down right around 4:30 local time.
All right, no mention of the hurricane. It said light winds, some rain. And when the captain came over the intercom, it like scared the living snot out of me. I was zooming in on that cloud. And it just startled me because it was really loud. Oh, you know
flight deck supposed to catch some bumps on the way in.
I think
just got
that's
a report for that. Just make sure to your seats with your seatbelts fastened. Thank you.
I think that's the Trop down there. I think this is St. Pete.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're not going to be able to do our compliance by collecting trash and making sure your seatbelts are securely on. We need all passengers to remain seated. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened. Raise your seat up so your device.
Okay, they're not going to pick up trash?
And hold on to your trash for the end of the flight.
Okay, that's interesting.
The captain has advised the flight attendants to take their seats.
All right, they're not going to pick up my trash. It's going to be interesting. So I got these cups here. All right. I don't know what to do with this ceramic cup. I think that was St. Pete down there. I think that was Tropicana Field. Okay, the captain has advised the flight crew not to pick up the trash. They have to stay seated too. Kind of stuck it over in the side pocket. Can't see anything out the window now. Yeah, this is absolutely probably the bumpiest ride I've been on. There is one of these in here, which I don't think I'm going to need, but they do have the extra bag down in there. I mean, it says waste on it, but you could use it for regurgitation. Alright, I'm seeing some sort of land down there coming into the greater Orlando area. Doesn't look horrible, but it definitely does not look good. I would guess probably about 10 minutes till we touch down, maybe less than 10 minutes. 5 minutes? Stretch. Alright, it looks like we're bypassing MCO. We're probably going to do a U-turn, but MCO's over there. We're going past it. I'm going to guess we're probably going to do a hard turn to go back to the runway. Just my guess. Because there is downtown. Right there. There's Lake Eola. It is clear. It's kind of magical how it just like cleared up right over downtown. Like all the clouds just kind of. Okay. Plane is slowing down. Maybe I have my bearings off. Maybe that was not MCO back there. But this is definitely downtown Orlando. There's the Citrus Bowl right down there. That's where the Orlando Magic play. It used to be called the Orlando Arena. I don't know what they call it now. And the old Orlando Arena used to be right down here by Lake Dot, I believe it's called, where they imploded it years ago. Okay, I knew I wasn't going completely crazy. We are doing a complete U-turn, so that was Orlando International back there. So we're going to do a U-turn and go back over downtown. I'll see if I can get a zoom-in view and see if I can see Disney off in the distance once I get past downtown. Might be able to, it just depends on how much cloud formation there is. This is pretty awesome. Getting some good views of downtown Orlando. I-4, Interstate 4 right there running beside it. Disney would be just to the right of I-4, way over there in the distance. And as enjoyable as it is getting a nice little view, I am ready to be on the ground. Here's the landing.
Approximately 4:39 p.m. You may now use your cell phone for every larger devices. Have a good one.
Thank you. All right. I made it to Orlando. I had my doubts with the whole layover thing. Got in just a couple minutes before 5 p.m. and I talked to one of the employees here, and they were saying at 10:30 a.m. in the morning is when MCO completely shuts down. It will be shut down for at least 2 days. And it's the last airport in Central Florida to shut down. Tampa's already closed, Sanford's already closed, and now Orlando International closing very, very soon. Oh, it is good to be here, Orlando. It is good to be here. Of course, I might be regretting that decision tomorrow when the storm makes landfall, but as of right now, it is good to be home after 27 days. I guess it's about a month, 1 day shy of 4 full weeks on the road before I flew to Atlanta for Dragon Con. I am ready to get back to my place. I'm probably not going to hunker down. This was just like the terminology, which a lot of the newscasters say. I'm not really a hunkering down kind of person, but yeah, I'll stay safe. I know the term calm before the storms is probably a pretty overused cliche. That's kind of what it is. The calm before the storm. I have arrived in Orlando, Florida. I made it back to Central Florida. Now I'm gonna head home. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Not sure what tomorrow may bring, but I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over.